Hello everyone and welcome back to
The Box Office!
I was hilariously wrong in all of my predictions basically last week. Saturday Night did not do as well as I thought it would with the marketing. Hopefully it can get some good word of mouth. And there's a very awesome box office story that happened this weekend for one movie and a very terrible one for another movie. Let's dive into it. Both of those movies involve clowns. Coming in first last weekend was Terrifier 3, making $18.8 million in its opening weekend. Great for that movie, and we're going to dive into why that's such an awesome story for those filmmakers. Coming in second was The Wild Robot, making $14 million, dropping 26% from week 2 to week 3. Beetlejuice came in third, making 7.3%, dropping 28% from week 5 to week 6. Joker Filet Au Deux. This is the sad story, guys. It dropped 81% from week 1 to week 2. That is a record for a comic book film for the biggest drop-off in comic book movie history. That is astounding, but not exactly surprising after the reaction to the film during its opening weekend. Piece by Piece came in fifth, making $3.8 million in its opening weekend. That is the Lego biopic for Pharrell Williams. Again, as I mentioned, Joker Filet Au Deux just completely falls flat on its face. There's no real recovery from this point forward in how it's going to be able to recoup money. It'll be lucky if it even recoups its production budget, so we'll have to see how it goes from there. The real winner here is the Terrifier franchise. It's a beautiful thing that you love to see, and we're going to dive into that, but first let's dive into a little bit more of these worldwide numbers right now. We'll do Terrifier last since we're going to wrap up with the story of that franchise. The Wild Robot worldwide now has a total of $149 million. That's excellent for them. It was made in production of 78. It's at 1.9. If it maintains its small drops at the box office, it will easily reach profitability in no time. Let's hope it can continue to do so. Beetlejuice now has $421 million worldwide. Excuse me. That's at 4.2 times that budget. Again, a huge success for everyone involved in that making of that film. Joker Filet Au Deux, man, this is just insane. Only has $164 million worldwide and a budget of $190. Some outlets reporting it was a full $200 million. Just an unbelievable flop for Warner Brothers, and really surprising considering the success of the last film. Piece by Piece has a total of 3.8. It has not opened worldwide yet. I don't have a budget listed for that, but I imagine it wasn't crazy high because of the animation of Legos, but at the same time not exactly cheap because of the talent involved and the people involved in his story. Transformers 1 dropped out of the top 5. It has a worldwide total of $111 million. It's at 1.5. Again, another sad story for the box office, and that film, really doesn't deserve it. It was a very fun movie. Saturday Night came in 7th, the movie I predicted to come in first. That has $4 million worldwide. I don't have a budget for that one either, but I can't imagine it was too high. It was probably more in the mid-range, and hopefully this can find its audience as it continues to open in wide release. And now for the best part of the video. Let's dive into the success of the Terrifier films, how they've kind of became this word-of-mouth hit from this creator, and how it's something you never really see in Hollywood anymore, and how incredibly proud that entire team should be, especially considering the budgets of their film. Their highest budget that they've had, their highest budget was $2 million, and that was for Terrifier 3. And we're going to dive into that right now. The first Terrifier film was made in 2018 on a budget of $35,000, which is fucking crazy for a feature film budget. And it made $342,000 worldwide at the box office, and then it later became a hit on streaming. Look, it still made 9.8 times its budget. It was a financial success, but we're dealing in incredibly low numbers for filmmaking dollars. I'm sure any of us would love to take home $342,000, but, movies are usually dealt with the millions, not with the thousands, so this is an unbelievable win, but at the same time, it would have to take a lot of word of mouth for this film to take off and become more successful, which it did in spades, because in 2022, as some of you remember, when the Terrifier 2 craze came out, Terrifier 2 was made on a budget of $250,000. Dramatic increase, but still less than $1 million. And it made $15 million worldwide in theaters, and that's 62.8 times the production budget. It's insane. It's insane word of mouth. It's unbelievable. I believe the director's name is Damien Leone. He needs to be very proud. Doesn't rest on his laurels, though. Says, we're going to make Terrifier 3. Makes it for $2 million. And in its opening weekend is already at 9.7 times the budget at $19.3 million. This is an unbelievable success story for this franchise, for this creator. I hope he gets to continue to make more movies, specifically Terrifier films. It makes me feel like a piece of garbage for having not seen any of the Terrifier films yet. But this amazing success story from this creator wants me to just take off work and binge all of these movies, which I will at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. Next week will be interesting because we have another horror film coming out in Smile 2. The first one was a big financial success for Paramount. So my predictions for next week, hopefully I won't be as wrong as last time, and maybe I can even be right like I was the week before. Smile 2 is going to come in number 1. Terrifier 3 will come in number 2. Wild Robot number 3. Beetlejuice number 4, and I'm going to say, just because I want this movie to succeed, I'm going to say Saturday Night finds that audience and comes in 5th, and actually increases from week to week. Those are my predictions. We'll see how wrong I am next week on the show. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.